Welcome to our program. Excerpt from the essay Gifts by Waldo Emerson, Vegetarian, Part 1 of 2, on Words of Wisdom. Waldo Emerson was a renowned 19th century American essayist, philosopher, lecturer, poet, and leader of the Transcendental Philosophical Movement. His literature influenced many celebrated writers, including Henry David Thoreau and Walt Whitman. Emerson is most famous for his essays, through which he expresses ideas of freedom, spirituality, individuality, the remarkable ability of humans to have profound realizations, and the relationship between the soul and the surrounding world. Waldo Emerson traveled widely, giving lectures, and became well known for his publications, essays, and nature. Today, we will read a selection from Waldo Emerson's essays, second series, Essay 5, entitled Gifts, in which the philosopher talks about the virtues of dedication. Emerson encourages the reader to think about the nature of both gift-giving and gift-receiving. Gifts. Gifts of one who loved us high time they came. When he ceased to love me, time they stopped for shame. It is said that the world is in a state of bankruptcy, that the world owes the world more than the world can pay, and ought to go into chancery and be sold. I do not think this general insolvency, which involves in some sort all the population, to be the reason for the difficulty experienced at Christmas and New Year, and other times in bestowing gifts, since it is always so pleasant to be generous, though very vexatious to pay debts. But the impediment lies in the choice. If at any time it comes into my head that a present is due from me to somebody, I am puzzled what to give until the opportunity is gone. Flowers and fruits are always fit presents. Flowers because they are a proud assertion that a ray of beauty outvalues all the utilities of the world. These gay natures contrast with the somewhat stern countenance of ordinary nature. They are like music heard out of a workhouse. Nature does not indulge us. We are children, not pets. She is not fond. Everything is dealt to us without fear or favor, after severe universal laws. Yet these delicate flowers look like the frolic and interference of love and beauty. Men used to tell us that we love flattery, even though we are not deceived by it, because it shows that we are important enough to be courted. Something like that pleasure the flowers give us. What am I, to whom these sweet hints are addressed? Fruits are acceptable gifts, because they are the flower of commodities, and admit of fantastic values being attached to them. If a man should come 100 miles to visit, and should set before me a basket of fine summer fruit, I should think there was some proportion between the labor and the reward. For common gifts, necessity makes pertinence and beauty every day, and one is glad when an imperative leaves him no option. Since if the man at the door has no shoes, you have not to consider whether you could procure him a paint box. And as it is always pleasing to see a man eat bread or drink water, in the house or out of doors, it is always a great satisfaction to supply these first wants. Necessity does everything well. In our condition of universal dependence, it seems heroic to let the petitioner be the judge of his necessity, and to give all that is asked, though at great inconvenience. If it be a great desire, It is better to leave the office of punishing him to others. I can think of many parts I should prefer playing to that of the Furies, the goddesses of vengeance. Next to things of necessity, the rule for a gift which one of my friends prescribed is that we might convey to some person that which properly belonged to his character, and was easily associated with him in thought. But all tokens of compliment and love are for the most part barbarous. Rings and other jewels are not gifts, but apologies for gifts. The only gift is a portion of thyself. Thou must bleed for me. Therefore, the poet brings his poem, the farmer, corn, the painter, his picture, the girl, a handkerchief of her own sewing. This is right and pleasing, for it restores society to its primary basis. When a man's biography is conveyed in his gift, and every man's wealth is an index of his merit, but it is a cold, lifeless business when you go to the shops to buy me something which does not represent your life and talent, but a goldsmith. That is fit for kings and rich men who represent kings, and a false state of property to make presents of gold and silver stuffs as a kind of symbolical sin offering or payment of blackmail. The law of benefits is a difficult channel, which requires careful sailing or rude boats. It is not the office of a man to receive gifts. How dare you give them? We wish to be self-sustained. We do not quite forgive a forgiver. The hand that feeds us is in some danger of being bitten. We can receive anything from love, for that is the way of receiving it from ourselves, but not from anyone who assumes to bestow. We sometimes hate the food which we eat, because there seems to be something of degrading dependence in living by it. Brother, if Jove to thee a present make, take heed that from his hands thou nothing take. We ask the whole, nothing less will content us. We arrange society. If it does not give us, besides earth, fire, and water, opportunity, love, reverence, and objects of veneration.
Vegan diet is a higher choice that is good for our wellness and cares for our one earth home. Madam Joyce Lai Gyuk Chu, vegan.
Noble viewers, we thank you for your company today.